guys, it's finally time for my 10 looks 1 palette video with the Conspiracy palette. Now, it took me a little bit longer than usual to get this video up. I'm sorry about that. I don't know. I just wasn't very motivated and inspired this time for some reason, but I'm happy to finally be done with them and I'm happy to be sharing these looks with you. I hope you end up liking them. I'm not going to keep you here for any longer. I don't think there's anything else that I need to say that I can't say during the looks, so sit back and relax. As always, get a snack, get a drink. It's probably going to be a long video. I hope you enjoyed the looks, so let's get into look number 1.
Alright, let's do this. So for this first look, or actually for all of the looks, I am starting off by priming my eyes with my Natasha Denona eyeshadow base. This is what I use for every look in this video. And I also will never be setting my base with any kind of powder. I like to leave my eyeshadow primer tacky. This just helps make sure that the eyeshadow has something to stick to, and it also just makes it look more pigmented that way. And the first shadow that I will be dipping into is going to be Pigment. I love this shadow. It's so cute. I love the little pig imprint. So as you can see, I'm basically just putting the shadow all up in my crease, from the inner part of my crease to the outer part of my crease. And then once I've got that down where I want it, I also take it down to my lower lash line, just switching to a bit of a smaller brush here. And I'm also making the shape of this quite winged out. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just like to do this on my eye shape. And then to deepen everything up, I'm going to take Not a Fact, which is this beautiful maroony purple shade. And I'm using one of my referral brushes here. These are not actually available, but I know I'm going to get a lot of questions about them, so I thought I would just mention it. This brush and a lot of other ones will be available in December, I'm pretty sure, for individual sales. So I will make sure to keep you guys posted in future videos about this brush because it's amazing. And then once I've deepened up my crease all the way around to be the depth that I want, I'm going back in with that first pigment shade on a small Sigma E36 brush, and I'm just running that over everything to make sure that everything is blended. And because I want this look to be very simple, I'm only going to use one shimmer on my lid here, and I'm going to take Sleep Paralysis, and as you can see, I did spray it with some Fix Plus just to make sure that it's nice and pigmented. I'm just using a bit of a flat, fluffy brush here to really just get that all over my lid and sort of blend it into my crease and make sure everything is looking nice and smooth. I'm also taking a little bit more of the shadow and putting it in the inner third of my lower lash line. I would say this step is probably optional, but I like doing this sometimes. And just to finish off with the shadows, I am taking Diet Cola and I'm putting that right into my inner corner just for an extra pop. I'm also kind of blending it into the shadow that I put on my lid, as well as wrapping it around down to my lower lash line. And for my waterline in this look, I'm just going to keep it very simple and just do some black. This is a retractable liner from NYX. I really like this. And I'm also going to use my DHC Cosmetics liquid liner, which is my all-time favorite, and I'm just going to trace my upper lash line. I'm not doing a wing or anything like this. And then of course I need to curl my lashes, and I'm going to use my all-time favorite mascara. I know, oh my god, that's so creepy. But if you're new to my channel, I have a problem. This is my Bad Gal Bang by Benefit. This is my holy grail mascara, and it has been for so long. It's so good. I'm not going to show you me doing this in all of the looks, but I wanted to just mention the products that I'm using so that you know moving forward. And I will of course have everything that I use on my eyes and lips in every look linked down in my description box for future reference. For lips, I wanted to keep it on the pink side, so I chose Berry Berry by IBY Beauty, and apparently this lipstick had dried out, so it went in the trash after this, but it's still a pretty color. So this is going to be the end result of look number 1. Very easy to start off. I like this look a lot. I feel like it's very classy. It's very pretty. Not going to be like all of the other looks in this video, but let's get into look number 2 and see what's in store there. So I'm first going to start off by taking Diet Root Beer, and I'm going to put that into my crease. So this look is actually going to be something that was a request from one of you guys. And since this is not something that I've ever done before, I thought it would be a good way to kind of challenge myself. So this person asked if I could do like a day to night kind of look. So that's basically what I'm doing. So the first part of this look is a 2-part look. So the first part is going to be just a very, very simple everyday look, which is not something that I really ever do, but I still wanted to show you that you can do that with this palette, even though this isn't really my aesthetic. But I really do think that this is a good palette if you are someone who likes to do very basic looks. I feel like you can really do that with this palette. So as you can see, I'm really just putting on the shadow and blending it into my crease, and I'm taking it down to my lower lash line and doing the exact same thing. So this is going to be super simple. So once I put down the shadow where I want it, I'm just going to go in with a fluffy brush and just make sure that everything is blended one last time. And then the last thing that I want to do for this look is just take Just a Theory and put that all over my lid, and that's basically going to be it. I am going to put in an inner corner highlight though, just because I can't really help myself, and I just like to have a little pop in my inner corner, you know? So I'm just going to go in with a little bit of Ranch here, which is the kind of white shimmer in this palette, and I'm just going to pop that right into my inner corner, and nothing fancy, and that's going to be it for this look. For shadows anyway, I am going to take some nude eyeliner and put that into my waterline. This is Honeydew by Colourpop, and then put on a little bit of mascara. And that's going to be the day look. I'm finishing off by using my Fenty Gloss Bomb here, and then we're going to move into the night portion. So basically this is what it would look like if you wanted to wear like a very simple look for day. So what I want to do now is I want to literally build on top of this. So as you can see, I'm not really happy about this look. This is not really me, so we need to amp this up a little bit. So I'm going to go into my rides here, which is the black, and I'm going to start by placing this in the outer corner of my eye and then slowly pulling it through my crease to really darken this up and making it look more dramatic. And once I'm done that, I'm going to go back into Dyed Root Beer, and I'm going to run that all the way around my eyes just to intensify this brown a bit and make it a little bit darker. And then for the middle of my lid, I'm going to take a little bit of spiraling, again, just to really amp up the intensity of this look and bring in a little bit more depth and darkness. And because I do want to change up like the whole look of this, I'm going to take Conspiracy and I'm going to place that over that inner corner highlight that we already have, just to kind of change up the color. And the reason I went with green is just because I have green hair and because I just like to match. You don't have to do this. You can use whatever. You could use more of that white if you wanted to. I'm also popping a little bit of Teaspoon by Colourpop in my waterline. This is just a green eyeliner. Clearly, I just have a green obsession right now, but that's okay. So next up, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of my Moxie Lash Magnetic Eyeliner, and I'm going to put a little bit of this on the outer portion of my lid here so I can use some magnetic lashes on top. I don't have a review on this liner yet, so I can't really tell you if I like it, but while that is drying, I'm putting on the red lipstick from the collection, which is called Are You Filming? I'm then going to take the magnetic lashes that I'm using. These are from Velour. I don't like the eyeliner that it came with, which is why I'm not using that one. So I'm just popping these little babies on, and then because I want something a little bit more fun, imagine if you go into like a Christmas party or something, putting a couple of stars on my face. This is my Milk stamp, and I absolutely love this. I am obsessed. I cannot get enough of these cute little stamps. They're just everything. So that's going to be it for my little day to night party look. Let me know what you think. Hope you're happy about a neutral look for once. Let's get into look number 3. So for this look, I'm going to start off by taking What's the Tea, and I'm going to put that in my whole crease. I'm really packing this on to make sure that I get this to be nice and pigmented, and this is going to be a smoky eye, so I'm keeping the shape of this pretty round. And then once I've packed it on, I'm going to go in and blend it out with a bit of a fluffier brush here. And when everything is blended to my liking, I'm going to take Illuminati and I'm going to basically put that all over my lid. So I'm not going to do anything fancy here. I'm really just putting this all over my lid. This is a very simple look, and it's something that I really enjoy doing if I'm like short on time or something. It's just doing a smoky eye like this because it takes like no time at all. So once I place the shadow down, I'm going to take a fluffy brush and really try to blend this into my crease. I'll admit that this was not my best blend, but that's okay, that happens. So for my lower lash line, I'm going to take Not a Fact, and I'm basically just going to really smudge this out underneath my eye, and I'm going to make this quite dramatic. So I'm also going to blend this down quite far, but if you're not comfortable with that, you definitely don't have to go as far down as I did here. So for my inner corner, I'm going to go back into Diet Cola. I love using this in my inner corner, and of course we need a soda break because you can never have enough soda, in my opinion anyway, and I'm sure Shane would totally agree with that. So once I place down the shadow in my inner corner and blended it into the other colors, I'm gonna put on a little bit of eyeliner. This one is from NYX. It's one of their faux blacks in the shade Blackberry. This is one of my favorite dark eyeliners that aren't black, and I'm also going to put on some liner and mascara off camera. And then for my lipstick for this look, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, if I wanted to do a nude or like a crazy color, but I did decide to go with the lipstick color Shane because a lot of you really liked how this looked on me in my lip swatching video. I'll have that linked up in the corner if you haven't watched it, but I do think that this lip color is kind of cool, and I feel like it kind of went with the look too. Like I said, my blend here is not the best, but I'm sure you can do better if you wanted to recreate that look. Let's move into look number 4. Now this is going to be my one and only cut crease kind of look in this video. So I'm going to start off by taking the color Food Videos, and I'm going to pack that into my crease. I'm not going to call it Food Vibes this time. I don't know why I did that. Apparently a lot of people did that in their first impressions, and I have no idea why. It literally makes no sense, but I guess I'm not the only one. So as you can see, I'm really packing this into my crease, going back and forth many times with a very dense brush and just building the shadow up to be as intense as I'm able to get it. And when I am somewhat happy with the intensity here, I'm going to take a little bit of Cheese Dust, which is the orange. I don't think I've used that yet in this video. Somehow orange just is one of those colors that I kind of forget to use, and I don't know why. But I'm basically going to use this shade to deepen up my crease with, and as you can see, I'm keeping the shape of this very round, and you will see why once I go in and cut my crease here. So I'm going to take a little bit of my Natasha Denona eyeshadow primer again and just place that down on my lower lash line, because I know that the shadow that I'm about to put down here really needs to help. So that color is going to be the blue one, which is called What's the Tea. So I'm basically just going to pack this all underneath my eye and kind of make like a warm, cool kind of contrast with the eyeshadows here. So I'm just packing this on and packing this on and packing this on and blending it out ever so slightly before doing my cut crease with my P. Louise base. And how I do this is I'm going to just trace my upper lash line and then look up so I can see where it transfers. And then I'm just basically going to fill in my whole lid, and I'm going to make this into like a half moon kind of shape and keep this all around, because I just find that this kind of cut crease looks a little better for what I'm about to do next. But before I do anything fancy, I'm going to just go ahead and take my pills, and I'm going to basically pack that all over where I put down that base, just because I wanted to try this shadow. I hadn't tried it yet, and I wanted something kind of on the nude side, because I didn't really want it to look like I had shadow on my lid, and I still wanted to use this shade. And I feel like it did exactly what I wanted to do. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the lipstick from the collection. This is in the shade Jeffree What the and I'm going to do a liner with this one. A lot of you wanted to see me use these on the eye, so that's definitely what I wanted to do with this. So you can see I'm making a very, very thick line here. And I'm also not really doing a wing with this because it's extremely hard on my hooded eyes to do any kind of a big wing. So I'm making this very thick and then waiting for that to dry. And then once that's dry, I go in with my liquid liner. This is the black liner. And I'm actually going to use this to kind of create a bit of a wing on the outer portion here. So it's kind of going to be a bit of like a fancy double liner, if you will. And I find that this just worked really well on my hooded eyes here. And then for my waterline, I'm using the LA Girl eyeliner in the shade Electric. This is one of my absolute favorites. And then I'm putting on some liner and mascara off camera, or I should say just mascara this time. So this is going to be the look all done, except that I did forget an inner corner highlight. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of ranch right in there just to complete the look. And then for my lipstick, I'm going to use the same one that I used on my eyes just to make sure that I tie this look together. And I like being a little matchy-matchy sometimes, you know, like who doesn't? I think this look turned out really cute. It might not be the most flattering on my eye shape, but I still think it's fun to just do something a little bit different. And I kind of like how this turned out, especially with like the double liner thing. I think that looks kind of cool. And if you have made it this far, I think it's pretty obvious that you're probably enjoying the video. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because I do a lot of multiple look kind of videos. And with that said, let's get into look number 5. So we are about halfway through for this look. I'm going to start off by taking food videos again, and I'm going to place that in the inner portion of my crease. Really packing this on to make sure it shows up the way that I wanted to. Not gonna lie, wasn't super happy about the end result of this look, as I found that the two shades that I used in my crease here just didn't really work for me. But next up, I'm gonna take What's the Tea, and I'm gonna be placing that in the outer portion of my crease. And I always like how blue and yellow just create a bit of a green when you blend them together. I'm also taking the shadow down to my lower lash line, about the outer half or so, I'd say. And then to deepen up the crease and the outer corners of my eye, I'm going to go into Not a Fact. I'm actually just going to put this on the outer corner of my eye. I'm not going to really pull it through the crease, because I do want this to be more of a softer look here. So I'm mostly focusing this just in the outer portion and just blending it into that blue. For my lid, I decided to go with the green, which is called Conspiracy. I'm spraying that with some Fix Plus here and basically just packing this all over my lid from the inner corner to meet it up with the purple. And once I've gotten it out that far, I just gently mix these two colors in together. And for the last color on my inner portion of my lower lash line here, I'm going to take a bit of Diet Cola, and I'm just going to place that right next to where I put down that blue. And then to make sure that everything is just flowing nicely, I'm going to take a bit of ranch and just make sure that like everything in my inner corners here are looking nice and blended together. So I'm blending this into the silver as well as into the green. And that's going to be it for the shadows. So for my waterline, I'm taking one of the faux whites this time from NYX. This is in the shade Mint Cream. It's a beautiful kind of pastel-y blue. Just popping that right into my waterline, and then off camera, I'm doing some liner and mascara again with my Jeffree Star mirror. And because the eyes are pretty soft, I wanted to kind of keep it kind of soft on the lips as well. So I'm using Cupid by Lime Crime. This is one of the Velveteens, I think they are called. Bless you, that was quite the sneeze. So that's going to be it for this look. Let me know what you think. I like how this turned out. I like the idea behind this look, but I don't like how the shadows performed when I was doing this, so I think that's why this look just wasn't my favorite. For the next look, I wanted to focus on one of the shades that I've yet to use, and this is Flaming Hot, so I wanted this shadow to be in the spotlight, so I'm just placing this all along my crease here, and I want this to be kind of an intense look, which is my favorite, not gonna lie. So I'm just placing this all over my crease here with a bit of a fluffy brush and making sure that everything is nice and blended. And then once I've done that, I'm gonna take a bit of a contrasting shade on my lower lash line here, and this is Cheese Dust, and I really find that pinks and oranges go really nicely together, so I wanted to kind of use them both together, but make sure that they both had their time to shine. And to really amp up this look, I'm going to take a bit of the black because I love black eyeshadow. I just can't help it. Every time I see a black in a palette, it just makes me so happy. So I'm placing this first in my outer corner, and then once I've put down most of the pigment, I'm using the rest that's on my brush to just kind of pull it through my crease and darken up everything. I'm also going to take a little bit of this down to my lower lash line here, as you can see. And then for the lid, I'm just going to place Trisha pretty much all over with a bit of a fluffy brush here. So I'm just placing it down, not doing a cut crease or anything, and I'm sort of blending it into my crease to make sure everything is nice and seamless. And also just to make sure that it is to the way that I want it to be, I'm going to go in with a bit of all of these shades and just really intensify them and blend everything out. And this is something that I do sometimes without even showing it because I don't want to waste time, but sometimes you do have to go back and forth a bit to just perfect everything after you've placed the shadows down to make sure that it's looking the way that you want it to. And because I want a bit of a different color in my inner corner, I'm going to take a bit of my white P. Louise base this time and just place that in my inner corner as a base for the shadow that I'm putting on top. And again, I'm going to try to use food videos. I haven't had much luck with the shadow so far, so I'm going to try to really pack this on a white base here. And it is showing up, but not as, vibrant as I would have liked for it to, and it's taken a lot of packing on for me to get any kind of pigment. I even tried my finger to press that on, and honestly, it just made a mess, and it's just a lot of powder, and it just fluffed right off, so that wasn't really the best idea, but at least I tried, So I'm going to take one of my favorite eyeliners now. This is Punch from ColourPop. This is a yellow. I absolutely love this. I feel like yellow eyeliner just goes with basically any look, so pop that in there. Really happy about that. And then I'm doing some liner mascara off camera before putting on some lipstick, and you got to make sure to shake them up, especially this one. I haven't used this in a while. This is Pumpkin Pie by Jeffree Star, one of my favorite lipsticks in my collection actually, and especially for fall. I think this is just such a beautiful warm toned kind of dark orange. It's just, it's so yummy. And that's going to be the end of look number 6. I think this is one of my favorite looks that I did in this video actually. I just really like how this turned out. So let's go into look number 7. And for this look, I'm going to start off again with Flaming Hot. And what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to use this to make a bit of a graphic liner. So this is going to be a very easy look. So what I do is I take a very, very small pencil brush here, and I use this to create a bit of a wing shape on the outer portion of my eye. And then I just trace a very, very thin line all the way through my crease and then kind of meeting it up in my inner corner. This is going to take a little bit of practice to get the shape right, and especially if we have different eye shapes. I find this to work extremely well on my hooded eyes because I can just go above the hood of my eye and it'll just kind of work itself out. But you might have to modify this approach a little bit if you don't have hooded eyes like I do. But I love doing like graphic looks like this because I find them very impactful and super easy. So once I've gotten the shape down that I want, I'm going to go into Diet Cola and basically just fill in the rest of my blank space here. And like I said, this is going to be a very simple look. I'm only going to use 2 shades for this. So once I've packed this on to really fill in all of that blank space, I'm going to go back into that crease shade that I used, or I don't even know if I can call it the crease shade, but like the one that I marked the outside with. And I'm just going to go over everything one more time to make sure that I didn't take the silver shade too much above that shade that I just put down, to make sure everything is nice and graphic still. And then as usual, I'm going to curl my lashes and put on some mascara. I'm skipping the eyeliner this time because I wanted this to be a very easy look. Who else does this all the time? I swear, I always get mascara smudges everywhere. For my waterline, I'm using Zulu by ColourPop. This is a beautiful eyeliner. Also putting some mascara on my lower lash line here. And I feel like with this look, there's so many things I could have done for my lipstick, but I decided on using one of my Suva Beauty lipsticks because I just felt like it and it was right in front of me. This is in the shade The Unconscious. It's a beautiful, beautiful purple. I absolutely love this. It's one of my favorite purples in my collection, I think. And that's basically going to be the end of this look, except that I forgot to remove the mascara smudges. So I'm just taking a spoolie and scraping them off. And that's going to be it for the look. I think this turned out really fun, really cute, very simple, something that's not going to take a lot of time, but look like it took a lot of time, and I really like those kind of looks. They are my favorites. So let's move into look number 8. We only have 3 more to go. I hope you are enjoying them. We need another soda break, obviously, and then I'm going to go into what's the tea, and I'm going to place that in the inner portion of my crease here. I'm pulling this about 2/3 of the way out or so, and I'm kind of fading it out the further out I go. And this is my Morphe E36 brush, if you are wondering. I really like this for doing more detailed crease work with. And then for the outer portion of my eye here, I'm going to take Not a Fact, which was this beautiful purple maroony kind of shade, and I'm using this to really wing out the shadow. Of course, this is optional as always, but once I got the shape of this down where I want it, I'm going to bring it in towards that blue and sort of mix these two in together where they meet in the middle. Also taking it down to my lower lash line and just making sure that everything is blended well and pigmented. I'm also taking a bit more of this just to deepen up the very outer corner of my eye with. And then to kind of deepen up the outer corners a little bit more, I'm going to go into spiraling, and I'm going to put that almost on top of where I put down that purple in the outer corner, but I'm going to mostly use this to just blend into the purple to make sure that everything is looking nice and blended here. And I really like how that turned out. For the rest of my lid, I'm again going to use Dyed Cola, which this is one of my favorite shades in this palette. I think this is beautiful. So I'm really just packing this on and building this up to be very nice and intense here, and just meeting it up with that previous shade that I just put down. And then I'm also taking a bit more of that blue just to try to build up that shadow, because I felt like it faded a little bit, and it tended to do that a lot when I was building on it. It would just kind of fade away, but I'll save that for the review portion. But I'm also taking a bit more of this purple and just doing a little bit more blending with that. And because I wanted to do something a little bit different, I'm going to go in with pigment and put that in the inner portion of my lower lash line here. And I really like the contrast that the shadow gave with the blue that I had in the top part of my crease here. I think this turned out to be kind of different and fun. And because I clearly just cannot get enough of this eyeliner, this is again Zulu by Colourpop. I just think this is so beautiful, and every time I use blue on my eyes, I like to use it in my waterline. For my lipstick, I wanted to play it kind of on the nude side, so I'm using Baroque by Ofra. Ofra has one of my favorite lipstick formulas. I love their liquid lipsticks. Let me know if I'm the only one. I feel like they're pretty overhyped, but I also feel like they deserve the hype, if you know what I mean. So that's going to be it for this look. Again, I think this is also one of my favorite looks so far. Let me know which look is your favorite. If you remember, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. So let's move into look number 9. And I feel like this one is going to be very fun, for me anyway. This is one of my favorites. Didn't I just say that about the past 2 looks? I think I did. Anyway, I'm first taking Tannicon, and I'm just fluffing that into my crease with a big fluffy brush. Nothing fancy at all here. I just want a little bit of transition color here before going into Dyed Root Beer. And I'm doing the same thing, basically just keeping this a little bit lower down and building this up. But I am keeping this a bit on the softer side because I didn't want the crease colors to be like the focus of this look. So once I've done that, I'm going to take a little bit of Flaming Hot and I'm going to smudge that underneath my eye because I did want this color to kind of go with what I'm doing on my lid. So you will see after I'm done just placing down this color and blending this out to be the way that I want it to be. And when I've done that, I'm going to take 3 of Jeffree Star's liquid lipsticks and I'm going to use these to do dots with, which is one of my favorite things to do. If you've been on my channel for a while, you know exactly how I do this. I take one of my nail dotting tools and I basically just start by creating a bit of a wing shape here by just using dots. And this is very, very easy. I'm basically just going to dot all over my lid now where I would put down a shimmer. If I were to put down a shimmer, I'm not going to really pull them into my crease and stuff, but if you don't have hooded eyes, you could definitely just use this to do like a wing shape with, but since I do have hooded eyes, it's going to transfer if I just keep it to like my lash line. So I did it all over my lid. And then I'm gonna go into Oh My God, which is one of the lipsticks from the new collection here, and I'm just doing the same thing. As you can see, I'm basically just dotting all over my lid, and you really can't mess this up as long as you put enough dots on your lid. Like, you can't have enough dots, so just keep dotting. And for the last lipstick, I'm also taking some of the pink one from the collection as well and doing the same thing. And I feel like this could probably be like a really nice, fun Valentine's Day look. I didn't even think of that until now, but with the colors, it kind of makes sense. So once I've gotten like the shape of this and everything the way I wanted to, I'm going to take a bit of white eyeliner and just pop that into my waterline to really open up my eyes here. This is a white retractable liner from NYX. And then I also feel like I need a little bit of a inner corner highlight, so I'm going to take Ranch as usual. I feel like I use this in my inner corner all the time, but it's like the perfect shade for that. And then I'm going to do a little bit of mascara and liner, and that's going to be it for the eyes. And then obviously for lips, again, I need to just kind of match it up with my eyes because I just can't help myself. And I also just love this lipstick color so much. And that's going to be it for look number 9. I hope you like this one. I really like this one. And because I always do this in look 9 in all of these videos, I need to have you guys leave me an emoji down below in the comments. And I feel like the appropriate one for this one would be the pig emoji. So if you're still here, leave me a pig emoji down in the comments, and then let's get into the last and final look. And this is going to be the look that you saw me wearing in my intro. And I'm going to start off this look by taking Cheese Dust, and I'm using my Morphe E36 brush here, and I'm placing this in the middle of my whole lid. And the reason why I'm putting this shadow down first is because I felt like it would be hard to layer the shadow above the other shadows that I'm using on the other two sides, so it just made sense to place this color down first. And then I'm also taking it down on my lower lash line, like basically in the same spot here, right in the middle of my lid. And then for the outer portion of my lid, I'm going to take the black, which was called my Rights here, which is obviously a Uber reference, and I Uber everywhere, so I can totally relate. So I'm placing this in the outer portion of my lid, as well as blending it into the orange and winging this out. This is just kind of how I like to do my eyeshadow, but it depends on your eye shape. If you don't like it all winged out, you can definitely leave it more on the round side. So I'm just taking my time here to really build up the shadow and connecting it to the orange that I have both on my lid and my lower lash line here. So it's really just a lot of going back and forth when you're doing an all matte look. And then for the inner portion of my lid as well as my lower lash line, I'm going to go ahead and put Ranch. So you can see I'm basically leaving the same amount of room for like all of the colors. So it's just like the same amount of space with the white, orange, and the black, just kind of placing them next to each other. And I feel like this worked out very well. So I'm also going to take just a little bit of that orange again and make sure that I build up everything to be nice and opaque, and that the blends between all of the colors are looking nice. Because like I said before, I find all matte looks to be a little bit challenging and just a lot of back and forth. So this was probably one of the looks that took me the longest somehow, even though it looks pretty simple. And because I just wanted to be super extra, I'm going to ombre my waterline and use 3 different colors, basically the same that I have on my eye. So this is a black one from NYX, and then in the middle I'm going to use Unts by Colourpop, and in the front part I'm also using a Colourpop eyeliner, and this is in the shade Exit. And once I've done that, I'm also going to just gently line my eyes here, not doing a wing or anything like that, putting on some mascara, and then we're actually going to have a little bit more fun here. I'm going to take a bit of lash glue. This is from Duo, and I'm going to use some rhinestones that I bought on Amazon. I will have these linked down below. They're super fun. They're like meant for nails, but like they're still really great to use on the eyes. So I'm first starting off by taking a little bit of the lash glue here and putting a little bit of lash glue in the inner corner of my eye, and then I'm placing a black dot on either side, and I want this to kind of contrast with the colors that I have, you know, on my eyes. So I'm next going to take more of the lash glue and put a little dot like on the outer corner of the black, and then put an orange dot on top of that, or orange rhinestone I should say. And just to match everything up, I'm going back into my pumpkin pie because I love this lipstick so much, and I'm so excited it's fall that I can wear it again. Not that I can't at any time, but you know what I mean? Sometimes there's just seasons that are better for using certain things, and I feel like this is a very fall lipstick. So that was actually the end of all of the looks. I really hope you guys liked them. Again, let me know which look was your favorite. Now let's get into the outro here.
So those were all of the looks. I hope you guys enjoyed them. If you for some reason want to recreate any of them, I would love it if you would tag me on Instagram. It really makes my day when you guys recreate my looks, and it still blows my mind that people actually follow my tutorials, you know? Like when I first started on YouTube, it was like I would do a tutorial, but then I felt like I kind of just did a tutorial for myself and that nobody was watching. But now when people watch and recreate my looks, it just really warms my heart, and it's so much fun, and you guys always make my day when you do that. So I do do also plan on having my review on this palette up the day after this video goes up, so if you're watching this video at any other time, I will make sure to have my review linked in my description box as well as up in the corner if I remember. If you're watching this and it's not up, please do let me know, but I will try to remember to have that linked everywhere so you can go check that out. So that's gonna be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it like I said, and if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe on your way out if you want to see other videos like this. I do a lot of them all the time, and I will pop a few up on my screen if you want to go watch some more of them. So that's gonna be it for today. Thank you so much for watching.